Good afternoon. On behalf of the Horace Mann chapter of the National Honor Society, I have the privilege of welcoming these students who have qualified as candidates for membership in our society. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. The lit candle on the table before us represents the torch of this society. It is a symbol of eternal light of knowledge. To provide us with the knowledge of Leicester's own Horace Mann chapter, I invite chapter historian Spencer Cody to the podium.
Tonight, I would like to give a brief history of the man who our chapter is named for, Horace Mann. Our chapter of the National Honor Society was established in the 1960s, but Horace Mann lived from 1796 to 1859. Some of you may recognize his name. He played an avid role in leadership, being an education reformer, both a Massachusetts and United States representative and a United States senator. However, it is for his service as the first Secretary of Massachusetts State Board of Education that he is most remembered. Mann is considered the most important and influential leader of education reform in his time. Horace Mann believed that education should operate under 6 fundamental principles. The first principle was that the public should not remain ignorant, since education was the key to solving mankind's social ills. Next, education should be paid for, controlled, and sustained by an interested public. Education would be best provided in schools that embrace children from a variety of backgrounds. It must also be non-sectarian, meaning that it is not involved with only specific religious or political groups. Schooling must be taught by the spirit, discipline, and methods of a free society. Lastly, education should be provided by well-trained, professionally licensed teachers. Mann worked diligently for improved schools, longer school years, compulsory attendance, enhanced curriculums, and higher salaries for teachers. Mann is considered to be the founder of the so-called secondary school, or in other words, the high school. Although approximately 8 places in Massachusetts already operated a secondary school, with one of those few being in Leicester, his work ultimately led to the Compulsory Education Act of 1856, which required all towns in Massachusetts to have high schools, the first state in the nation to do so. Mann also established what were called normal schools, which were specific training schools for teachers, now the basis for the state's university system. He set national curriculums for each grade level, mandatory kindergarten and national testing for all students, although this was originally used to classify children for potential job training. Mann wanted a world where children could be brought together for a common learning experience, regardless of class or any other circumstances, equalizing the conditions of men. He was a revolutionary, often called the father of American public education with good reason. Horace Mann's statue can be seen outside the Massachusetts State House alongside Daniel Webster. He's also recognized at Antioch College, where a monument bears his famous quote, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. The qualifications for membership to the National Honor Society are scholarship, service, leadership, and character. These 4 qualities will be described by the other National Honor Society officers. First, Chapter Vice President Jacob Stolberg with scholarship.
Scholarship. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success. It can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Thank you, Jacob. Next, Recording Secretary Jacob Zawalik with service.
Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arrive to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensation or recognition, is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to volunteering our time and ability to create a better tomorrow.
Thank you, Jacob. Next, Corresponding Secretary Isabella Connery with leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge to each of our members and to the candidates.
Thank you, Isabella. And lastly, Chapter Treasurer Jenna Soden with character.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality and personality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself nor hope to obtain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life, and once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality with that, what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity, we may hope to prove by example that we may value character.
Thank you, Jenna. Today's guest speaker is Ms. Susan Skurzik, co-founder of Blais-Bennett. Ms. Skurzik is a Leicester High School alumnus, having graduated in the class of 2010. In 2014, she completed her Bachelor's of Science in Biology at Worcester State University. She then continued her studies at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences to earn her Doctor of Pharmacy in 2018. In July of 2018, Ms. Skurzik and her husband began a specialty donut pop-up shop, Glazey-Susan, that quickly became a sensation in Worcester. With immense perseverance in an otherwise uncertain time, the Skurziks opened the doors to their permanent location at the DCU Center in September of 2020. Please welcome Ms. Susan Skurzik.
Hi everyone, my name is Susan Skurzik and I am one of the founders of Blais-Bennett, located here in Worcester. Just some background about Blais and how we started. We started as a pop-up in the summer of 2018. After traveling around the country and eating at all these amazing donut shops, we wanted to bring a piece of that experience back home to Worcester. So like I said, initially we started as a pop-up shop. We were reaching out to these places in Worcester to see if anyone was kind enough to host us, and then it quickly became the other way around where people started messaging us, asking us if we could pop up next at their place. So we did that. We popped up for a couple of years, and then we had the opportunity to open up our brick and mortar downtown here at the DCU Center, and that was planned for the spring of 2020. And of course, COVID happened, and that timeline got pushed back. And eventually we just decided to open up anyways. And I think that seems crazy to a lot of people, to open up a business during a pandemic. But I think in times of crisis, people seek comfort, and our donuts have provided comfort for some people. And ultimately, I think, the response from the community has been great. People have been so supportive of us. And, you know, I think that we're happy to provide a, you know, positive thing for some people during this otherwise negative time. And I hope that, you know, I could be a source, I can serve as a source of inspiration for you guys to follow your passion. If anyone has any questions, we are available through our social media. And we're located at 50 Foster Street here in Worcester, and I hope to see you guys.
Please rise. Inductees, please proceed up the ramp to the left side of the stage.
Class of 2021, Yasmin Almonla, sponsor Brouillard. Elizabeth Blais-Bennett, sponsor Kelsey Gray. Hannah Dufries, sponsor Madison Dufries. Kaitlyn Rutter, sponsor Thomas Ouellette. Class of 2022, Michael Barbato, sponsor Joseph Leonardton. Sarah Brouillard, sponsor Catherine Brouillard. Breana Escobar, sponsor Breana Escobar. Morgan Flodman, sponsor Kimberly Fridella. Abigail Gahagan, sponsor Norman Everett. Erin Gerber, sponsor Lori O'Brien. Alexis Goodney, sponsor Kelly Southwick. Grace Guinee, sponsor Diane LeVay. Deanna Herbert, sponsor Father Robert Loftus. Abigail Johnson. Sponsor Athena Vangos. Michael Mero. Sponsor David Mero. Lindsey Salek. Sponsor Sarah Nugent. Lindsey Wickson. Sponsor Lydia Pettit.
Class of 2021, Ryan Butler. Sponsor, Ms. Karen Flores. Class of 2022, Victoria Ditaranto. Sponsor, Ms. Suzanne Seaman. Makayla Donaldson. Sponsor, Ms. Nancy Dutton. Seth Larson. Sponsor, Ms. Donna Larson. Casey Macaruso. Sponsor, Ms. Jordan Helsman. Allyson Mahoney. Sponsor, Ms. Rachel Lee. Morgan Mero. Sponsor, Mr. Scott Mero. Zavier Morales. Sponsor, Mr. Michael Vaughn. Abigail Morrison. Sponsor, Mr. Thomas Bowes. Justin Maturi. Sponsor, Ms. Damaris Nadal. Meghan Niddrie. Sponsor, Ms. Patricia Gahagan. Timothy St. John, sponsor Ms. Danielle Weaver. Kyle Staple, sponsor Mr. Jason Grimchuk. Shannon Tuson, sponsor Ms. Tracy Arsenal. Brady White, sponsor Mr. Owen White.
Juliana Torres, sponsor Ms. Abigail. Rian Fadden and her sponsor, Dr. Jamie Slaney.
Olivia Ellis, our parliamentarian, will read the pledge of the National Honor Society.
I pledge to maintain high scholastic standing, to hold as fundamental and worthy an untarnished character, to endeavor intelligently and courageously, to be a leader, and to give myself freely in service to others. In so doing, I shall prove myself worthy of a place in the National Honor Society.
Thank you, Olivia. As president of this chapter, I welcome you as new members who are willing to maintain and protect the principles of the society. May your heart be a light of peace and brotherhood. All current and new members, please be seated. Superintendent Dr. Tenza, our principal Ms. Kenny, our vice principal Mr. Zawada, our advisor Ms. Reeder, and you, family and friends. You have helped support these students. At this time, I would like to thank the sponsors who are honored today. Each inductee was asked to choose someone who has made a difference in his or her life. Educators and role models don't often hear about the impact they make on students' lives, so I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for what you do for our students. After the conclusion of the ceremony, please watch the slideshow in which each inductee shares their sponsor's role in their success. New inductees, please rise. Congratulations to the newly inducted members of the National Honor Society. This is truly a special moment that I hope you carry with you throughout your lifetime. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.